Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video. So I wanted to film this outside. It's a beautiful day, it's sunny, lovely background, but at my neighbor's house, everyone's just outside working on their house. So it's noisy, it's loud, and I don't really want them staring at me. So I'm gonna film it in here. I'm sorry for the background, it's really not very aesthetic. But you know what? It's about the message coming out of my mouth that's important, not the background. So just pay no attention to it. It's okay. So happy 4th of July. It's the 4th of July, the good old United States here. But today I wanted to talk about grief a little bit. That's a hard subject, but it's something that I wanted to discuss here. All right? So very recently, my dog died. She was one of my best friends. She was honestly like a little sister to me, the little sister I never had, and the one I kind of, wanted sometimes. She died unexpectedly. Not violently, she just laid down and died. They think maybe she had a stroke. So that's really sad. She's buried in our yard, and I plan on making her a really nice little spot with a fence and a stone with her name on it. She was a German Shepherd, 8 years old. So that was really sad, and I wasn't home at the time, but my parents were, and when they told me about it, I was first just in such shock. I almost didn't feel anything except surprise. And all of a sudden, I just went like this. And I just started crying and saying I wasn't there for her. I wasn't there. And I felt such guilt about not being there for my dog when she died. But now I think it's better that way, because she did have company. She had my parents, and I can remember her healthy and happy. But so yeah, I'm really sad about it, obviously. But when my parents told me, we were all just crying so much. We were so sad. And at one point, my dad just seemed so upset. And I was just thinking to myself, I can't let this take control of me and go into like this deep, horrible state of sorrow. So I was thinking, and I was deep breathing, and I went up to my mom and dad and I said, you know what? This is the important part, guys. The reason we are crying so much and the reason we are so sad is because Heidi, which is the name of my dog, brought so much joy to our life. That's why we are so sad. Sadness is an expression of love. That's what sadness is. And when you know that, it makes the emotion of sadness closer to you, and you feel better about when you have it, when you feel sad, because sadness means you love something. And when we cry and we're sad, we wouldn't cry and be sad if Heidi didn't mean anything to us. But she meant so much. That's why we're really upset about it. So I tried to encourage myself and my parents that the reason that we should be thankful that Heidi was such a good pet, and she was such a friend and brought so much happiness to us, and that's why we are sad. So we should own our sadness and be sad for Heidi, because it just shows how much we love her. And when I thought about that, I was pretty proud of myself. I mean, it's not all just from me. I've heard other people kind of say similar things. But the fact that I thought of that in that moment of grief, I was so proud of myself. It's like, man, you know what? You're learning how to cope better. And that was cool. So it helped the situation. We felt a lot better, and I still use it to remind myself. And I wanted to bring this up because I've also obviously been involved with grief with human lives as well. Grieving human lives is different than an animal, but in some ways very, very much the same. But you can use these same principles, whether it be for a human you're grieving, an animal you're grieving, or even something else. Like if you, let's say you had to have your leg amputated, you're gonna grieve the loss of your leg 100%. And you could use it even for that. Grief of anything, but this was mainly pertaining to humans and animals. But I just wanted you to give you that encouragement that that's why you're so upset, and to also be thankful that you had something to be that upset and sad about. Because it means you had a treasure, and that's worth so much. Anyway, I just thought I might give you a little hope for all of you who are going through any type of grief, that sorrow is a good thing, sadness is a good thing, and it shows love. And I really am sorry for any of you who are going through grief. And I hope that you begin to heal soon. And when it comes to grief, there's no time limit on grief, okay? There's no time limit. I want to say this again. There is no time limit on grief, okay? Grieve as long as you need to. Don't let anybody else tell you you should be over this by now. Why are you still so upset about this? Grief has no time. Take as long as you need. Because if you don't, it's going to come back to haunt you. So, grieve when you need to. Don't dwell on it. You know what too is a good, if you feel like, okay, I don't want to ignore how sad I am, but on the other hand, I don't want to just ruminate on it, then here's what you can do to find that middle ground. Try not to dwell on it during the day. And then during the day, give yourself 10 minutes. Sit down and give yourself 10 minutes, and all you do is think about what you're grieving about. That's all you do. Grieve, cry, yell, get it all out. Set a timer. When that 10 minutes is up, take a few deep breaths, collect yourself, and get back to your day. And do that for a few days, several days, until you feel like you're starting to progress with your grieving a little bit. And then eventually you won't feel the need to do so. If you do feel that your grief is taking up too much of your life, go seek help. You can call what are called warm lines. They're like hotlines, but not for life and death. So you can call warm lines in your area. You can seek help from friends and family who will understand. You can call hospitals, anything, if you feel like your grief is too intense. Okay? And I encourage you to do that. Because grief is hard. It's a really hard emotion. I think it's an emotion. Is it like a sub-emotion? I don't know. But it's really hard, and it takes up a lot of energy and time. So give yourself love and patience when it comes to this, okay? Alright. Alright, guys. I love ya. See you next time, alright? Bye!